This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and you're probably noticing, why in the heck does this look a million times different than the last time we saw you? Well, there's a good reason for that. If you're paying attention to anything I've been saying in the last previous videos or in the Discord, I just moved into a new house literally this weekend. So even though this wall is pretty blank and this whole setup kind of looks pretty bland at the moment, there's gonna be a lot of cool things happening to make this this show, or just this studio, if you will, look a million times cooler than it does right now. And instead of just waiting for me to get to that point, because it's going to be I'm not going to be able to, knock all the birds out with one stone. This is a daily thing that I'm going to have to keep adding more things to. I'm starting to buy more things on Amazon. It's going to look legit, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't want to just wait till it looks legit. I think it'd be cool to kind of show you guys, keep doing shows like this. And so you see, tomorrow, you may see something different. You see it's more... there's more stuff added. There's more things happening with the visuals of this show. So, I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to kind of see a chronological timeline. Every episode, you're going to see more and more and more stuff as we get all this room set up. But right now, we got our old school desk, which we have a new desk coming in. But this is our one we had. I'm using one of my curved monitors, which is not what I've been using on the show. You actually haven't really seen anything besides maybe the tip of the mic on any of the shows, because I haven't had the camera set up like this before. But yeah, it's gonna look legit. I already have kind of this master plan, and I think it's gonna blow some minds. But before we get started, I do want to remind you guys that on Saturday, if you didn't remember, I'm pretty sure you did though. On Saturday, we had our first ever Player Props party hosted here in Orlando, Florida. Friday was our 1-year anniversary, which again, trillions of thank you to everybody who's been a part, no matter how small or how big, on getting us to 365 days. And to celebrate that, I hosted a big event in Orlando, Florida, where I covered all the food and drinks and the games and everything. We did some giveaways. We had this big betting contest and a bunch of stuff like that. I can throw up a picture of here's it's not the best quality because it was dark outside, but this is the picture from everybody who came down to Orlando, Florida. So we were inviting our longest tenured VIP members and all that good stuff. So it was a fun time. It was a good time. I did not stop talking for 3 straight hours. Make sure I met everybody, put names to faces, and when I say names, Discord names. It's people that I've never seen before in Discord with their own Discord name, being able to see who's who and what their face looks like. Yeah, it was a good time. It was fun, and we're going to do the same thing next year, so block the date out of your calendar right now, March 28th, 2026. We're doing another Player Props party. But yeah, so there's a lot of boxes in the house. We're chiseling away, slowly but surely, and we're going to get to a point where the show is going to look a lot cooler than it does right now. But let's go ahead and start pulling up some MLB and seeing what we're going to be locking in today. Let me switch over to this bad boy. There we go. So I kind of briefly went over MLB strikeouts on the only video that's dropped for MLB, and I think we put it out. We did it Tuesday for Thursday opening day. We didn't have a video Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because that was kind of when we were moving and everything, so I didn't really have time or a setup to do that. But yeah, so trying to kind of get back to the flow of everything that we were talking about with last year's MLB daily shows that we were doing. If you ever have any questions whatsoever about anything to do with sports betting or PlayerProps.ai, please do not hesitate to ask us. There's no such thing as a dumb question. There's nobody going to make fun of you no matter what your question is. If you ask it in a public Discord channel, it's a guarantee nobody's going to make fun of you or mock you for it. Everybody starts at all different levels. Everybody learns at different speeds. Make sure that you are doing the free stuff, though. You have to do the free stuff if you want to prove to yourself that you're going to take betting seriously. So there's some people out there, not some people, there's actually a lot of people out there that will say, no, I definitely want to win more bets and lose less bets. And I go, okay, have you downloaded the free PlayerProps.ai app yet? They're like, no. Like, have you known about it? They're like, yeah, but I haven't really done that. I just want to tail people. I don't want to do any research. I don't want to put any work into it. And the people they tail also don't do any research. And so it's just a double-edged sword of negativity. You have to do at least a little bit of work and hold responsibility for yourself if you expect to have even a sliver of a chance at profitability when it comes to sports betting. So for the trillionth time on episode, 602, do the free stuff. Download the free PlayerProps.ai app. Create a free PlayerProps.ai account. Get into the free PlayerProps.ai Discord. Sync your Discord account to your free PlayerProps.ai account. And subscribe to the free PlayerProps.ai YouTube channel. And, of course, all the other social channels as well. We have content and stuff and all picks and plays and education and everything on every single social media network. So it's in your best interest to follow all of them. If you don't do the free stuff, betting losses are 100% on you. They're on you regardless, but you have no one to blame if you're not going to put in the effort. Now that we've been through that tangent, let's find something for today. So, I'm always going to start on MLB strikeouts. Every single show. I feel like that not only is the easiest stat to predict, but last year we absolutely crushed it on our daily show by starting with strikeouts. Some people ask me if let's say, for example, you go through strikeouts and the people that are new to PlayerProps.ai, new to this YouTube channel and didn't watch any of last season's stuff, they're saying, okay, let's say there's nothing with strikeouts. What's the next best stat that you'd like? And what we did last season when there was absolutely nothing on strikeouts that made sense, we went to hits plus runs plus RBIs. So this is the exact same concept as PRA in NBA, points, rebounds, assists. So hits, runs, RBIs. The line is not almost always. Typically the line is 0.5 or maybe 1.5 for the crazy all-star players. If the line is 0.5 for hits, runs, and RBIs, that means you only need to get one of any of those stats. So let's say it's 0.5 and the batter that you bet on gets a hit. Doesn't matter what the hit is. Single, double, triple, home run. Boom. Checkbox. He hit it. So he doesn't have to get a run, doesn't have to get an RBI. Let's say that he gets walked and he goes to first base, so he doesn't get a hit. But then somebody drives him in and he scores a run. Boom. That checks it. Let's say that somebody's on third base, there's one out, the batter that you bet on hit a sac fly, and he didn't get a hit, nor did he score a run, but he drove the guy on third base in. That's an RBI, so that counts. So I like this because it gives you 3 different stats to just get 1 or sometimes 2 depending on the line. But that's the second one we would typically go for. But there's a pretty good chunk of games here. There's a pretty good slate of games, so I think we'll be fine on strikeouts. I, of course, haven't looked at any of this stuff before I hit record. So I look at it, I figure out what I want to do, and I talk every single word that goes in my mind so you know how you're going to use it when you pull up PlayerProps.ai on your phone, desktop, or iPad, tablet, to do it yourself. So the minimum, I mentioned this in the last show. I know Sean Newcomb's here at 2.5 strikeouts. The minimum line that I will target on the show is 3.5, and I typically favor 4.5 and higher, but 3.5 is the minimum line that I look at for strikeouts. So we can actually go here, and we can make it line 3, and click apply, and then we know that everybody we're going to look at has a line of 3.5 or higher. You can actually go to our Discord. Go to our Discord. This is after you've synced your channels to the free Discord. One of the many free channels we have in there that you want to use when you're using the PlayerProps.ai app is called trifectas. And I explain in Discord and pretty much every channel, almost every show, what a trifecta is. But it'll tell you, these are the 4 things we look at when it comes to MLB strikeouts. The difference is at least 10% or greater. The books agree, which means the odds are favoring the projected side. The difference is at least 1.0. So if the line is 3.5, the difference has to be 1.0, which means the projection has to be 4.5 or 2.5 on the underside. And then the line has to be 3 or higher. So we did that. We did the line. Now we look at the difference. How many of these guys have a line that is at least 1.0 lower than the AI because we're looking at overplays. And we can go through it right now. So we have line 3.5, projection 4.7. Check. That's at least 1.0 higher. This is exactly 1.0 higher. Holmes, 1.21. Check. Francis, 1.1, 1.12. Check. Glasnow, 1.27. Check. And I think that is it, because once we get down to Brady Singer, it's only 0.7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers that have a line of 3 or higher, have a projection of 1.0 or higher. And of course, typically when you look for the 1.0, it's automatically going to be where the difference is 10% or higher. But we have 4 pitchers we can potentially look at now. I go over FanDuel, see how crazy different the lines are, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same. Yeah, so it's the same on FanDuel or DraftKings. It doesn't really matter which app you're looking at. Quick look at all the accuracies. Hicks has the lowest one at 50, so if we did sort by 50 accuracy, these 4 guys would still show. Sorry, 5 guys. These 5 guys would still show. So let's look here. So St. Louis struck out a lot last year. So what I do now is I look at the opponents real quick. Houston does not typically strike out a lot. The Dodgers have really heavy bets, which could destroy Holmes and force him out early. Washington, I think they struck out pretty frequently. It looks like the projection just updated because, yeah, it's showing Grant Holmes twice. Francis was right here, and now I see that Francis got bumped down. So it looks like the projections are in the middle of updating, which, I mean, that'll take like 2 seconds before that goes away. But in terms of teams we like to target, if this doesn't make sense to you, go to the team tool, and then you want to, oh, not a team tool. You want to go to the player tools, and you want to go to team trends. So something here that's interesting is you want to go to this tool. This is, if you're on the app, the bottom left filter has to say player. On the far right, the very last tool on the far right is the team trends. So you go here, you go to MLB. I don't know why my dogs are barking right now. And then it's going to show you strikeouts for, you can look at the 2024 P, which is postseason, 2024 season. Right now, this is 2025. So in the, I mean, how many games? 3, 4 games these teams have played. Here's how many times that team has struck out. So right now, over the course of the season, Washington has 14 strikeouts per game. 14 strikeouts a game. They are whiffing like crazy. So let's now compare what we were looking at. So what were any of these teams that so Houston's right now at 8.5, right there in the middle of the pack. Let's see. St. Louis actually hasn't been striking out a lot in the first few games, only at 7.5. They're close to the bottom. So this, you want to pair this with the strikeout, MLB strikeout predictor. I like to see teams that are up here if I'm targeting overs. I like to see teams that are down here if I'm targeting unders. So let me go real quick back to, let me see here. What were the teams we were, okay, so St. Louis, Houston, Dodgers. Oh, Washington. They're the number 1 on the strikeout. So yeah, Bowden Francis, Toronto pitcher versus Washington. I just showed you that Washington has the most strikeouts per game through the handful of games they've played so far this season. This guy's got a line of 4.5, which is above our 3. The sportsbooks are agreeing with it. The over is minus 126, which means the sportsbooks give him going over a 55.75% implied chance. His projection's at least 1.0. It's actually 1.12. Seems like, with the exception of the 2 on the 9/11, 9/24, most of his games to finish the season, let's see, we had 7, 8, 7, 12, 5, 6, and he hooked right here. So he looks like he's been doing okay as the season ended last year. Oh, here's another tool we haven't talked about yet. I had a lot of people in Discord saying, we love all the stats and data. Can we have more advanced stats? Because MLB, there's a lot of advanced stats that people like looking at. If you don't want to look at advanced stats, then you don't need to look at advanced stats. But this picture, it'll show you his stats when he goes up against batters who are righties, and his stats when he goes up against batters who are lefties. And there's a lot of abbreviations here: BB percentage, average, lob. I'm gonna scroll up here so you can see more of it. So a lot of this stuff, right? Strikeout percentage, walks per 9 innings. So you might be like, okay, what do these mean? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is the most educational, helpful app you've ever experienced. So anytime you have a question, there's already a video created for it, except for this techno. I mean, we haven't put the video in this yet, but until we have the video, you can click on this and it'll explain, here's what all the stats mean. So here's all the pitcher stats. What is K/BB? Strikeout to walk ratio. How many strikeouts does he have for every single time he walks a batter? How many times has he given up a home run on an average per 9 innings? Because pitchers rarely do 9 innings, so it balances out. How many home runs does he give up over a 9 inning? I was gonna say data point. Innings pitched. How many innings pitched does he have? So in the last 365 days, he's pitched 57.1 innings versus righties, and only 46.1 towards lefties. Because, I mean, most people are righties, so you're going to see a lot more. Total batters faced, 221. Total batters faced, 187. So he's versed a handful of lefties over the last 365 days. But, of course, because most people are righties, that's why we see that there. So you can play around with that. What do these mean? I'm actually going to make a video soon that will not just tell you what the abbreviations mean, but go in more detail of why they're important, and not just like what they mean, like, oh, this is the walk rate, but like, what is a walk rate? Why is this important? So there's going to be a video that's going to be tied to this button as well. But for right now, it just has the explanations via text. So because we already looked at something that told us that Washington has struck out more than any other team this season, because he was already checking all the dots for the trifecta before that, I think this is going to be our go-to man. So what do we do when we find our go-to man or woman? We go to the props comparison table. Right now for MLB, I believe it only is showing, it actually is showing more than just the 2 ones I had yesterday. Let me see. Here we go. So yeah, his line is 4.5 across the book, you see here. Every single book's got him at 1.5 or 4.5. If you're going over, Hard Rock has the lowest odds or the best odds at -125. DraftKings has the worst at -145, so you definitely don't want to bet this on DraftKings. Just make sure you're always paying attention. If you're in a state that's legal betting, it's like a 99% chance that you have options. You don't just have one book. Stop betting on the book that pays you the least, and stop betting on the book that has the worst line. But ladies and gentlemen, that is our first episode in the new house, in the new studio, as the design is coming out. But I appreciate everyone again for helping us get to a year. We're going to start crushing it again on MLB season. I'm excited about it. Bowden's going to pull through for us. Even with that weird little mustache he has in his picture, he's going to pull through. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck.